Good morning guys, Jason from Man's Adventures, and in today's video we are going camping again at Martin's Fork Lake. Fall is in the air, the leaves are changing, the days are shorter. It's going to be a great time. Let's see who shows up and joins us. Let's go. Good morning guys. We are on the Martin's Fork Lake. We're on the Hidden Loop Trail. If you remember that video, I'll post it up here so you get an idea of where we're at. But this is a spot we're going to that me and Steven camped a couple years ago, and then me, Steven, and Owen camped in February. So I'll also link those videos up here too if you want to look back and watch those. We're headed in for an overnighter. It's going to be a good fall trip. Steven from Crafty Crow Show is coming, and Dalton, one of the paramedics we work with, is coming. And there's a few that said they may come, they may not. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's get on in here and start setting up our shelter. I'm first one here. I want to come early. I don't like hiking in the heat, so let's move on down the trail and see what we can find. I hope the camera's catching these fall colors because it is popping. I don't know if I mentioned it's October 7th. Yeah, it's going to be a good camp. Well, after a short hike, we're here. So let's scout out the area and see what we can find for a spot. I'm glad to get that heavy pack off. Let's scout around. Walk through this, get the camera hung. We'll walk through this thick here and see if we got any suitable spots where we set up in February. If not, we'll set up there close to the field. So let's check it out. And I say by the looks of it, we'll have to set up there because Steven's hammock camping. It's amazing how much this lake is up compared to when we camped here last time. Everything's changed. Like here's our old fire ring. I don't know if you can see the outline of the rocks, but there's our old fire ring. And my shelter was right over there. Steven's was there. There is Steven's setting rock. And then I think Owen's tent was right in here. So yeah guys, the water is up and it's going to be a beautiful day. So let's get in here and set up my shelter. I believe today I'm going to go with a plow point using my tarp and one pole and 2 tie outs and some stakes. I'll show you how I do that. It's going to be fun. I believe this is going to be home for me tonight. I'm going to set up a plow point, bring my point back here, coming up and out. Just have a little fire in front with a reflector, just in case it gets cold. I think they're giving 37 for the low tonight. Wind's at about 5, so it won't be that bad. Steven probably over there with the hammock, and I'm not sure about Dalton. We'll figure him out when he gets here. So let's prep this pad a little bit more and we'll get into it. Quick tip guys, bushcraft 101 modern version. If your knife doesn't have a dangler, a carabiner would work just fine. Just take it off the belt loop. You can either put it on your belt or a belt loop, but I'm going to use this little cargo spot. That way when I bend down, my knife ain't going to poke into my gut. I need to lose some weight. But that's just a quick tip guys. Now I'm just looking for either a small sapling or some dead standing, something where I can get me a pole, probably about, I'd say chin high for me. That way I can set in my shelter and get up without hitting my head. Let's find this pole and then we'll start setting up our shelter. All right guys, I believe this is going to be the one. It is a sapling in just some underbrush. There's a lot older trees around here. And yeah, we're going to harvest this one. I hate to take a green tree, but I need something stout that I can pull down on. And there's thousands of these in this forest. So let's get our saw out and we'll harvest this one. And actually this tree here was diseased in the middle, so that one was going to die soon anyway. It's black in the middle. Alright guys, let's set up this shelter. Guys, first thing I want to do is get my height or length of my pole for the front of the point for the plow point. So let's get that sawed up first. I'm going to take my knife and round off the top. So that's going to be the center pole of our plow point. So we'll come off on either side here, and then it'll ridge out down to the bottom, and then we'll stake it all out. Next, we are going to lay our tarp out in a diamond form. So like I said, lay it out in a diamond, and what you're going to do first is take your back point as far as you want it and stake it on in, and then we're going to put our pole in and get our height set up. Once we have the back in, we are just going to take this here and kind of pull it up to where we want our tarp. Once you have it in this position, as you can see, the sides kind of folded in, and that gives you just a rough draft of where to stake it. Go ahead and stake those out, but don't put them all the way in, so you can adjust here in a few minutes. Note to self, when you're putting your equipment up, I don't know if I was in a hurry the last time this was set up. Take time to undo your knots. That way the next time you're out, you're ready to go and not sitting here arguing at yourself because you left yourself in a mess. Because then if you are out and it's raining or weather's setting in, you can set back up quicker. Mistake made by me. Now I have the corners tied out and the back. We can get a better idea as we pull this up, and as you can see, that's going to have to be definitely pulled out more to get my V the way I want it. But what we're going to do now is cut some cord to run this way and that way and stake that off. And we'll pull it taut, and then everything should just hold in place due to your tie-offs. Let me get about, I don't know, roughly 12 foot of cord, a couple more stakes, and we'll do that part next. Alright guys, what I've done here is took my guy line off that corner, just wrapped it real good on there, and a couple square knots to hold it. And then I took my cords that I'm going to use for my stakes up front, and I just done a clove hitch on it in the middle using a toggle that I made, and that's what we're going to use here in the middle to help hold this thing up. Like so. What we're going to do is run one out on each side here, and then that will hold the tarp in place. So let me stake this out, and then we'll pull the sides. Now we're going to pull the sides out. Alright guys, and there we have it. A simple plow point setup using just 4 stakes and a pole. It's a quick and dirty setup. It's good and stout. I think it's going to do just fine. And now all we need to do is get some pine boughs put in there, build us up a little bit of a bed, put our ground tarp down, and we are ready to camp. Just making my bed, guys. As you can see, I've already got some down, and I've went to get a few more of these boughs, and I got my new ground tarp, so I'm not really worried about it. Plus I got a new sleeping bag we're going to try out on this trip. So let's get these wishboned in a little bit, and we'll see how it looks. Now we're going to open up my new waxed canvas Bedroll, and I'm excited to use this for the first time. Bedroll and haversack. I'm eventually just going to do a camp with just that, and whatever I carry on that, and then everything else be bushcraft made. Probably even do a natural shelter on that one, but that's another video for another day. So let me get this thing unrolled and laid in here. All right, this is the configuration I'm going to go with. I'm going to leave half the tarp covering the ground, so if I have to get up, it gives me a buffer from you know, if it gets damp or anything from the dew tonight, that'll keep me off that. And then I'm going to have my blanket over here, and I will put my sleeping bag on top of that. I'll lay on the mattress here that I made to kind of give you an idea what it's like. I did bring a luxury item, so I'll have a pillow up here, but as you can see, I fit under this just fine, and only worried about the dew tonight because there's no weather coming in, so we're going to be fine as far as all that goes. But this will be my shelter and sleep setup, and man, get some firewood, make some or purify some water, eat some lunch, and then relax for a little while. I'm ready for that. You've seen me do this in almost every video. Sawyer Mini, got a couple water bottles, an Algene. I am going to purify some water because I am out and I am thirsty. And I do not want to get dehydrated out here. Lake water. Tastes like Gatorade with that powder in it. Let's eat a snack. See if anybody else shows up. Lunch with a view. All right, that was a good snack. I'm rehydrated, my belly's full, feeling better. Think now I'm either going to go collect some firewood or get some rocks for the fire pit. One of the two, maybe both. And look who's now with us. The Crafty Crow himself. Say hey to the peoples.
Hey to the peoples.
Now if we can just get Dalton and Branson and Nick, whoever else is showing up, we'll find out as they come piling in. But it's going to be a good camp. Any words?
Don't mind me. I'm just sitting in my chair enjoying it. I ain't set up camp or nothing yet. Stuff.
There's the stuff.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Well, firewood pile's growing. Steven's here. Dalton just messaged. He's on his way. Nick's supposed to be on his way. We're going to need more firewood. Let's go find some. You know what Les Stroud says. Look at your pile when you think you're done and then add 5 times more. That's how you survive in the woods.
You know what Les Stroud says?
Chicka, 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 chicka. Wow, wow, wow. All right, guys, let's coming back into camp. Got some more firewood. Found Nick on the trail. He's joined us. Dalton is 100% on his way, but the curse of the Crafty Crow has hit me. I came back, and look, my pole gave out. It's an easy fix. All I have to do is take the pole, wedge it back up, no problem. All my lines are still tied out, staked out. Everything's good, so I'm gonna just leave it down while this wind is blowing, and then as it calms down in the evening, I'll pull my shelter back up, and hopefully we'll be okay tonight. If it does collapse again, I'll just use it as a cover. You hear that? That's not a crow call. What is that?
I don't know what it is. But that's funny. That's so funny. Jeff, we know you're watching, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff always watches.
We should have went with Disappointment Point or something like that.
Absolutely.
Because the curse has stayed.
Curse of the Crafty Crow. Steven's getting his shelter set up. Nick, let me show you this. Nick has I think he just robbed Walmart and threw it all in a duffel bag. And this boy, like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he can build out of that. And now Dalton has showed up. If you saw my short the other day, we're the ones that went mushroom hunting, and as he says, forever be curious. So he's going to join us tonight, and I think Branson is the only person that's not showed up, said that he might come, so it is Branson, who knows. So Steven's got his set up over here behind Nick, hanging in the trees.
Do you have to blow these up?
Looks that way.
Yeah. Dalton's learning the ways of bushcraft. All right, I've got my shelter fixed. I put the pole back up, and I ran me another line out this way, and then I put 2 stakes at the foot of this pole to keep it from sliding back again. So we're tied out pretty good now, and I've got my turkey feathers, so hopefully I'll bring me some luck. Now let's help Dalton set his up and help Nick set his up. Checking in, we have our shelter set up. We got Dalton here, me in the middle, and then Nick set up over here with a tarp. So we've got our own little neighborhood going, and then Steven way over there in the trees. Next on the agenda is build a fire pit, process some wood, and get dinner ready because I'm hungry. We have made fire. And now it's time to cut up some potatoes, some onions, get a coal bed, and lay that steak on there. So I am hungry. Steven's probably already finished eating because he's smart and brought a stove and just has to boil water. Nick, what are you eating? MRE? Nick's MRE, he'll be done in 15 minutes. Dalton, are you even eating?
I got veiny weenies, bro.
Veiny weenies. So, like, I'm the only person out here that's going to have to work for dinner. It's worth it. It's about to go down.
The smell of it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like how the... No.
You know as well as I do because we cook pearls. That's for daytime. Because in the daytime, your people are restricted.
I don't like it. That's crazy.
Just a little overcooked, but it's good.
Oh, it's always good.
Well, good morning, guys. As you have seen, we're up. Well, Nick's not up, but the rest of us are up, the old guys. Breakfast is on, coffee is on. I did not even tell you good night last night because we were just having such a good time around the fire. I know I failed, but that's what happens. It's life. I'm just bringing
I love my
you
viewers
along.
more. I told my viewers good night.
Steven said good night to his, but I was just having too much of a good time. The stars were out, the moon was out, we was watching satellites. Dalton was telling us philosophy, and I even opened up my little box of philosophy, and I think I scared Steven, but that's for another day.
Yep.
But we're gonna cook up some breakfast, break down camp, and head out of here. So I'm ready for coffee. I'm gonna get this going.
If it ever existed, it's always existed.
Okay, guys, this is my handcrafted, carved myself Kuska, and this is the inaugural first ever coffee sip out of it. So let's see how it goes. Tastes like coffee out of a wooden cup. Yeah, this is something I've always wanted to try. It's put way too much time and effort into this thing, but I like it. and I learned a lot, and I'm gonna try to start making them, I believe. Let's enjoy this coffee and then eat some breakfast. All right, breakfast was good, coffee was good. Now it's time to get it organized. I tripped over my gear this morning. I made a mess. Look at this. That's not like me, but I don't know. It happens sometimes. So I'm gonna get this stuff organized, start packing it up a little bit. I think we're gonna hike out probably around noon, so get some work done. All right, this was my new down sleeping bag, and I slept warm. Like, I had to come out of it a couple of times. Very impressed with it. So much better than what I've been using before. So I'll show you. But yeah, I was happy with this. It's a 550 feel, loft up good. It worked. I was very happy with this bag. It's going to be sufficient. There it is. So you can see, guys, the fire is out. Camp is broke. Leave no trace. We've picked up all our stuff. No trash left. We're actually leaving it better than we found it. It is time to put these heavy packs on and get out of here. And we're on the trail. You ever seen a bunch of hobos hiking? Check this out.
I ain't a hobo, I'm a real boy.
All right, let's do a short hike back to the Jeep. So, Nick and Dalton come in behind me and Steven, and I left them a symbol to figure out which way to go, and they missed it. Look at this. Does it get any more plain? Pointing right towards the steps, and they both missed it, right, Nick?
No.
You missed that, seriously?
We just overlooked it.
That's a pretty good arrow.
I don't know, guys. Hey, Steven.
Hey, what?
You ever seen triple wax canvas bag?
You got a triple wax canvas bag?
Whoa, boy, right
Whoa,
there.
boy.
Triple wax canvas bag. You just have to be in there.
Right in joke.
We survived. We survived. All right, guys. The camp is over. Dalton and Nick's already took off. They're still a little camera shy, but they both said, see ya, bye. But I've met up with Steven over here, some better lights to shoot this outro. We've had fun. It's been a good trip. It was a heavy trip. Like, we packed in a lot, but there were some new things we wanted to try. Or I did anyway. I think Dalton was testing out his equipment as well. It was a good trip. We enjoyed it. We're going to try to start doing this maybe once a month, so we'll be bringing this back to you. Just wanted to go ahead and say right here, in a couple weeks I'll be headed off on another cruise. This one will be for 14 days, and we are headed down to the Panama Canal. So shift gears a little bit from camping back into the cruise videos, and that'll be a lot of footage, guys. I'll bring you at least 14 videos on that one. So through next year you're going to have videos. 14. But Steven, you want to say anything to them as we head on out of here?
Just remember, he didn't tell you a good night last night.
You know, I could edit that and wait till tonight and say good night.
No, that wouldn't be right.
No, it wouldn't. But, you know, some people might do that. You never know. But not us. We're real. We show you our goods and our bads.
I think we all just needed a break. All of us kind of had a little different things. You know how it is. Life just gets you down in different ways. So all of us got to get out, clear our head some. That's all it takes. One overnight trip, and it'll help you clear your head tremendously just from being out in nature. And that's why we go do this.
Yeah, it's a grounding effect.
Very.
Ground out. Guys, it's been Steven from the Crafty Crow Show and Jason from Mans and Ventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.
See you all.